Good morning, it's Angie. I'm up very early this morning because we're kicking off with a new series of a midweek financial report, which I'm going to record very early on a Wednesday morning. Let's get started because today, Wednesday the 22nd of October, there are two urgent alerts, one hitting pensioners directly and another that affects every UK taxpayer with a bank account. First, the official inflation figure for September 2025 is out. So we know that the consumer price inflation, CPI, rose by 4.8%, slightly higher than expected. And that small rise has a big consequence. It marks the beginning of the end for the triple lock as we know it. And second, HMRC's legal power to seize money directly from our bank or ISA without a court order is back in full force. And this time it's not a drill. It's our money, our savings and our pensions that are all under pressure. So let's get straight into what this means for us and what we can do about it. First, the CPI shock and the triple lock trap. The September inflation figure decides next year's state pension increase, you see, because average earnings growth was also 4.8%, and that becomes the figure used for the April 2026 pension uprating. So the full new state pension will rise to about £12,548 a year from April 2026. Now that sounds like good news, but here's the problem. The personal allowance, the amount that we can earn before paying tax, is, as we know, frozen at £12,570 until at least 2028. So that leaves only a gap of just £22. And that means that by April 2027, when the next pension increase happens, the state pension will overtake the tax-free threshold for the first time in history. In plain English, even pensioners who only receive the basic state pension could soon start paying income tax. Unbelievable. This isn't a mistake. It's a stealth tax, a way for the government to collect more money from pensioners without admitting it. They keep the personal allowance frozen, let inflation do the work, and watch more people slip into the tax net. So don't assume you'll stay tax-free just because you only get the state pension. If your pension is topped up with a small private pension, you'll pay even more. Now let's look at the hidden power, HMRC's direct access to our account. This is the second major concern, which is the return of HMRC's direct recovery of debts, known as DRD. This gives HMRC the power to take money directly from our bank, building society or ISA if they claim that we owe tax. No court order required. Here's what you need to know. Number one, if HMRC says you owe £1,000 or more, have ignored letters and missed your appeal deadline, they can demand payment directly from your bank. Number two, the safeguard myth. They say you'll always be left with at least £5,000, but that's only the minimum balance rule. It's not protection. It just means that if you have £10,000, they can legally take half of it in one go. And number three, the timing. Once DRD begins, You have 30 days to object. After that, HMRC can act, and your bank must comply. If you have any outstanding tax debts or even think you might, don't ignore them. The longer you wait, the fewer rights you have. But there is a bigger picture, and that's the digital control system. These two stories, that's the pension tax trap and HMRC's new powers, are not random. You see, they're part of a much wider strategy, and that's digital financial control. In 2026, making tax digital will expand to include sole traders and landlords. That means HMRC will have near real-time access to your income and spending data. Once that happens, any flagged unpaid tax could automatically trigger a debt recovery order faster than ever before. At the same time, confusion continues over the abolition of the lifetime allowance. Once capped at over £1 billion, the government promised clarity, but the rules have been rewritten, delayed and corrected several times. Even financial advisors are struggling to keep up. So for higher value savers and careful planners, this isn't reassurance, it's chaos. And when you put all of this together, that's frozen allowances, digital tracking, and new recovery powers, it looks less like a system designed to protect your savings and more like one designed to control them. Let's look at the budget rumours, the threats ahead. Because now the pressure is mounting before the autumn budget. The Chancellor, you see, needs new revenue, and pensions are an easy target. Here are the two biggest rumours to watch. Number one, the 25% tax-free pension lump sum, long considered sacred, is at risk. The serious talk that future retirees could see it reduced or removed altogether. And number two rumour, pension tax relief cuts for higher earners are back on the table. Currently, those paying the 40 or 45% tax rate get the same relief on contributions. The government is discussing a flat 30% rate for everyone, a big blow for long-term planners. If you're in a position to contribute to your pension, consider doing so before the budget, because delays could cost you thousands in lost relief. So what can you do now? You can't control the policy, but you can control your response. Number one, check your pension statements. Know exactly what you're receiving and whether it pushes you over the personal allowance limit. Number two, act early on contributions. If you plan to add to your pension, do it before the budget announcement. And number three, resolve any HMRC issues immediately. Don't ignore letters. Call, clarify, and keep written proof. And number four, spread awareness. Share this information because too few people understand how fast the rules are changing. Here's the bottom line. The government have shifted from protecting pensioners and savers to monitoring and managing them. The frozen thresholds, unpredictable pension rules, and new digital powers reveal the government is tightening control over personal money. So don't panic, but do act. Stay informed, stay alert, and make your financial moves before the next wave of change hits. Here's my closing message. Today's CPI confirms a tax trap for millions of pensioners, and HMRC's Debt Seize Your Power is live. Make sure you're subscribed to UK Money Wisdom and click the notification bell so you don't miss it. Until then, stay safe, stay alert, and stay in control of your money. This is UK Money Wisdom. I'm Angie with your weekly pension news update.